This is how things are made, from suitcases to ice cream and everything in between. Prepare to be amazed. Watching ice cream bars being manufactured is almost as enjoyable as eating them. In a single fluid motion, the ice cream is cut to size and a paddle stick is inserted on the production line. These perfectly shaped ice creams are then coated in liquid chocolate, forming that classic crunchy shell before they're packaged and sent to your local store. No, this isn't a wizard's luggage factory, but the way suitcases are wrapped does look kind of magical. In reality, the suitcase is pushed from underneath and vacuum sealed to create that distinctive textured wrap. Building a house used to take months, but thanks to 3D printing, one can be constructed in just 24 hours. Using a digital design and a crane system that extrudes concrete, a complete house can appear in no time. This isn't where they made Justin Timberlake's hair in the 2000s. It's a ramen cup noodle production plant, the birthplace of every college student's favorite meal. The entire process, from baking the noodles in set portions to adding a variety of condiments, is carried out in a single factory. Here's the fascinating production line for your favorite ice cream sandwich. Every block of ice cream is precisely cut and placed on a cookie before being sandwiched by another. It's so simple, yet so mesmerizing. Everyone's used a pencil, but have you ever thought about how they're made? The pencil production process is completely automated, even down to sharpening the pencils themselves. Those tiny decorative ribbons you place on birthday presents. They're also made in a factory, where you can see the entire ribbon formation happening right before your eyes. At this donut factory, nearly everything is done by hand, from mixing and kneading the dough to cutting and frying it. After that, it's off to be glazed or dipped in various toppings. I hope those police officers are hungry. Tasty toilet paper rolls start off much longer before they're cut down to size. For most people, it's safety first, ensuring hands are well clear of the saw blade. But then there's this lady who seems eager to start her weekend early by cutting it a little too close. There's a new robo pizza maker in town, and it's serving up some seriously tasty pies. This robot doesn't just stretch the dough, it also spreads the tomato sauce and adds cheese. Although a few human hands are still needed to add extra toppings, the rest of the journey into the oven is entirely automated. All Lego characters start as a batch of blank yellow heads, but each head needs a face, a torso, arms and legs before it can leave the factory. The entire process churns out tens of thousands of Lego men and women every day. Making the inner soles of flip-flops might seem like a manual task, but using a template cutter and a hydraulic press, thousands of foam soles can be produced daily. Don't be misled by what seems like slow spinning blades on this slicer. It's actually spinning so fast that the camera can't even keep up. Just look at the hundreds of ultra-thin fruit slices flying off at incredible speed. In this factory, hundreds of perfectly portioned pieces of puff pastry dough are created every minute. They even use lasers to keep track of the dough as it moves down the conveyor belt. If you'd asked me how fine china bowls are painted, I'd never have guessed it would look like this. It seems improbable, but it definitely works. Even shoelaces go through a complex process involving 20 separate spools of cotton, each braided through a small hole. Then it's up to you to make sure you tie them properly. Instead of braiding hundreds of feet of cheese by hand, this oddly satisfying machine does it for you. 3 tubes continually twist and turn, creating the perfect pattern. Applying powder coat to metals looks like a lot of fun. Just dip, roll, and shake in the powder, and you've got a brand new green coat. No paintbrush required. This harvesting machine takes the hard work out of gathering crops. Its spinning blades cut everything from the roots up, then shred and split the fresh mulch into a waiting truck. People used to spend hours hand-wrapping parcels of meat in pasta dough for ravioli. These days, automated processes churn out perfect pasta pouches every time. Old-school bakeries still exist, but these massive production lines can produce thousands of bread rolls each hour. From mixing and rolling the dough to shaping, scoring, and baking, everything is automated, even loading them into crates for delivery. I hate to burst your bubble, but that beautiful wood grain on your decorative beam? It's just impressive paintwork. Creating long sheets of chicken wire fencing involves a complicated system of spinning wire spools, large rollers, and constant twisting to get that perfect chain link pattern. This pasta factory setup allows for quick and consistent cuts. All you need is a pair of scissors and a good sense of timing. But be careful, if you're too slow or distracted, you might end up with a spaghetti jam. This super smart fish grading system sorts fish by weight. Once the correct weight is reached, an arm swings open to collect the right-sized fish into a basket. There are many ways to make noodles. You have the guy who cuts thick noodles onto a pole, another who uses just his hands to create the perfect ramen, and if you're feeling lazy, you can use the dough stripper 2000 to do the job for you. It might be mesmerizing to watch someone cut multiple blocks of wood at once, but those fingers are way too close to a spinning blade for comfort. Despite our manufacturing advancements, most shoes are still made mostly by hand. It's a meticulous process of sewing, painting, and stitching that brings each pair to life. Stonewashing your jeans is so yesterday. Today's high-powered lasers create intricate stencil designs in seconds. This hay bale wrapper can lift, spin, and shrink wrap large bales way faster than any farmer ever could. Just hope it doesn't pick up a cow by mistake. This factory takes hydro dipping to a new level with precision robots that dip pairs of water bottles for the perfect paint job. Making bao buns by hand is fine for small batches, but this machine streamlines the process, both mixing the dough and cutting perfect portions on the conveyor belt. When you need to move a massive ship into the water, these enormous rollers get the job done. Just make sure everything's aligned, because once it starts rolling, there's no stopping it. Can you guess what's being made here? Eventually, it'll become a sheet of clear glass. Who needs a factory when this pastry chef can cut 300 croissants in under a minute? Stacked layers of dough and rapid cutting. It's like watching a blur. This specialized truck handles road repairs with efficiency. One section drops hot molten tar while the rear lays down fresh gravel, creating a brand new asphalt road in just minutes. This aloe vera processing plant turns the beloved succulent into soothing skin cream. The leaves are sorted and sliced, and the inner gel is filleted by swift workers with sharp knives. You might be surprised to learn that every plastic bottle starts out as a tiny piece of hardened plastic, then gets stretched and shaped into the bottles we know and love. After that, they are cleaned, filled with water, sealed with lids, and labeled. This sorting process might look chaotic, but it's a carefully choreographed system of conveyor belts that ensures each package gets to the right box. And Twinkies, a national treasure.
I could use a Twinkie.
Just ask Woody Harrelson, start as batter squeezed into baking trays, then injected with vanilla cream. After spacing and separation along the conveyor belts, the Twinkies are wrapped, packed, and boxed for delivery. If you enjoyed this look into the art of making things, like and subscribe for more fascinating insights. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.